Welcome to the Texas Metal Show. I'm your host, John fucking Winningham, and on this episode we talk to Houston Sludge Lord's Crusher. You're gonna get two intros with this episode. After a long conversation with Luke and then a little bit with Elizabeth, we've decided to put out a 99% unedited version, and this episode is fueled by booze and weed, and it gets a little fucking crazy. So, just be warned, you're in for a fucking treat. Yeah, that would be nice. Maybe we can build one. And then we could build a sex robot.
Yeah. Fuck yes, dude! That was right in. That was about to come out of my mouth. I swear, I promise you. Sex robot was about to come out of my mouth right then.
Are you recording?
I'm not even fucking joking.
I want that to play at the end of the show.
I'm not even joking, dude. I am not even joking, dude. Okay, that was totally about to come out of my mouth. That's really awesome of you.
Luke.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
And Steven.
Yes.
Steven. Okay.
Steven.
So I'm going to do a quick introduction. I might repeat, if I repeat myself a couple of times, it's because I'm not happy with the way it sounds, and I'll just keep doing that. Like, if we're like talking and you make a mistake, or like, just like, don't say anything for a second and continue, because it's easier to edit out.
Or say something really racist you don't want to get out.
Yeah. Because it's really easy. It's really easy to edit out.
I didn't mean that.
Listen, fuckers, don't talk over each other. All right,
Yeah.
and give each other your time. If somebody wants to speak. We know how to fucking.
I think you're the one that needs it.
And it's gonna happen.
Shut up, bitch.
And I'm gonna do it too. Like, I'll talk. It just. And I'm also going to be looking at my phone a lot, and it's not because I'm not paying attention. Like, I have show notes, and I have to remind myself to talk about certain things. But we're just going to end up talking about Black Sabbath for 45 minutes, which is cool, because I love Black Sabbath. But, this is kind of how it goes.
I got you.
I just turned the game down just in case you guys get really
sing
loud.
for us.
We will be loud.
Talk. Just say something.
Okay.
Anything. Just talk.
How's it going?
How does
That'll work,
Okay,
yeah.
Luke.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Jason, right?
Hi, my name is Jason.
Yes.
Yo!
You might want to skip.
This is Steven. He likes hip hop.
Yeah, it's usually Kate.
I love hip hop.
Okay, so before we start recording, though, we're recording, and I could be wrong about this. You guys have who plays drums?
Our buddy James.
Okay.
We've got a new drummer.
He's at work.
Just quit last weekend.
And I guess that's probably the dude that I'm familiar with, then, that I met.
Adam, yeah.
Okay. You had said something about Adam earlier, and I just wanted to make sure.
Something about Adam.
That's fine. We can talk about that. We can talk about anything you want to, dude.
Okay.
We're fine.
As long as you guys don't, anything you don't want to talk about, we won't talk
I
about.
don't like talking about like Roseanne or Tom Arnold, really.
I do love Roseanne, the show itself.
I do too.
I would
It's one of the
prefer.
best shows.
I would
Joss
prefer.
Whedon.
But I don't like
I
to
would
talk about Tom
prefer if we
Arnold.
did not talk about Roseanne also.
You're already talking over it.
Talk over everybody.
God damn it, Luke.
What are you talking about, man? Somebody's got to wrestle you guys, you know?
That's not what
That's
I
my
thought
job.
it was.
So I'll do the introduction, and then I'm changing up the format a little bit. Normally, all the introduction stuff I do at my house, but like, I've decided the format of the show should evolve just a little bit, because after listening to episodes, I'm not super happy with it. So you guys will just have to bear with me.
John, you don't have to explain all this stuff.
I explain everything.
I like it. I've never
That's
done
just
a
like,
podcast before.
I want you guys to know, like, at least to a certain extent, what we're getting into. So, are you ready to go, baby doll?
Yeah.
We're all recording?
Yeah, I've been recording for about 3
Yeah,
minutes
she's gonna have to do a
now.
blooper reel one day, and it's gonna be me like blathering on.
cigarette.
I make really weird
believe it.
screechy noises and shit at the house,
awesome.
and she secretly records me. So
Every time we pass.
I'm glad I came over, man.
There's gonna be coughing.
We ought to rub Jason's leg every
I'm
time.
That's
gonna make
okay.
notes.
There's going to be a lot of
Burn off the
coughing.
weeds. That's a natural part of the interview.
So I'm gonna introduce, and then I'm just gonna point at each one of you, and then just like say who you are and what you do in the band, and then we'll move on from there. Because normally I introduce everybody, but I feel like it's kind of stale, and I don't know if I like it. Let's get some of the weed out of the way real quick.
Do whatever you want, man.
All right.
Next time we ever do an interview,
We bought a grab for Mom before she died.
I gotta grab 2 pipe, man. There's some local company or something like that.
I don't. No, you don't. You don't. You're,
Yeah, I think
you're
like
clean all the way.
Man.
No. I'm gonna
Oh no, you don't want to smoke because you don't want
You
to.
seen his
Like, what pipe
ass?
you got for me? He's
No,
like,
no,
well, this one is like, he's like, we got stock in this one, and
No, I'll
he's like,
smoke
these
it.
guys. was like $25, you know?
Solid pipe.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
How do I sound? Can you hear me?
Yes, and it's perfect because you're
Is
not
it-
as loud.
Should
So
I?
you
What
can,
about right here? Is this okay right
It
here?
does not matter because I
Okay,
moved
cool,
it away from
cool.
you.
That's a sweet mic.
Yeah, it's real nice, and it kind of looks like a penis.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah, very.
I know my mouth's already
I was
getting
thinking
wet.
something to put in the butt. I
like
figured
these
putting
guys.
that in the butt, that would be a feat. It'd be good. Make me happy. It'd be a
Already
feat.
drooling.
Foot in the
I didn't say
butt.
feet. No, that's not what I meant.
I
That,
saw that in the porno
that
from
would
Germany
be a
once.
feat to put that in somebody's butt.
You'd be just fine.
I fit in real well around here. Apparently.
I kind of like the feet stuff. I don't know. I stumbled across it.
I've come across feet before.
No. I mean, not like interacting. Just watching. You know? One of those things.
That's even weirder, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
Where's your dogs at, Luke?
They're hidden in the back, or I imagine in the back room.
They hate you, Steven, so they're...
They were like, "Fuck Steven."
Yo, one finger in the butt 7 years ago.
All right. Let's get this show on the road, because God knows how
I
long
brought a
that.
shotgun in one time.
Never forget.
And fucking Katie has not forgotten like 7 years.
Welcome to the Texas Metal Show. I'm your host, John fucking Winningham. In today's episode, fuck, I don't like that. Hold on.
Well, if you quit
That was
covering
great.
your head.
That is, hold
awesome.
on.
Man, I'm glad you don't record with that. Christ.
You're bouncing your leg a lot.
Dude, it's a
I
like
have
a
to
fucking
hold
habit.
him
Just chew your
still.
fingernails
like-
instead.
At the house, she'll do that. She'll put her hand right here, and she'll be like,
Oh, I
"Stop
do too,
moving
dude.
your
I'm like
leg."
this.
It's
Like a
fucking
RLS,
crazy.
like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah. It's from when I was a kid.
Stop.
I was anxious all the time when I was a kid. And it just kind of
It's like
transcended
yawning, it's
into me
contagious.
being an adult. Yeah, it's way contagious.
Or he'll sit
I'm playing
and he'll
double
be
bass.
ass naked and playing with his nuts, and I'm like, stop! I can hear this.
I do that all the time.
That's a male thing. Everybody here has his back on that.
Dude,
Stop,
that's how I
can
stay
hear it.
awake.
Dude, I have to
When I'm
touch my
driving all the time
balls,
to work.
dude. I touch my balls every... Dude, if I'm sick, my hands, one of my hands is constantly on my balls.
Dude, I masturbate
If I'm
through a
sick,
fucking
no, I'm not
fluid,
even saying
dude. I mean,
masturbate. If I'm sick, like physically
did.
sick,
One's
I
in
have
your
to-
mouth, one's covering your mouth, one's covering your balls.
No.
No, dude. Pretty
Well, one's on the
much.
balls, one's kind of
Sometimes a
reaching
sick
around,
finger in the
you know.
butt, man.
Let's get this going, guys.
When you're home alone for a long.
We're fucking off.
Come on, guys.
All right.
Sorry, take
Just
two.
put it out.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm recording all
Yeah,
of
she's
this.
recording. She'll get it. She gets all this. We're gonna compile it away.
Awesome.
Welcome to the Texas Metal Show. I'm your host, John fucking Winningham, and today we talk to Houston Sludge Lords, Crusher. It's my great pleasure to introduce...
Mike McElroy, bass.
Luke Bennett.
He sings.
Yeah, he's on vocals, just in case you
I'm
were
Jason,
wondering.
and I play a guitar.
And I'm Steven, and I also play guitar.
I really appreciate you guys giving us time today. Like we've talked about, we've been talking about all day, because we've been hanging out for like the last hour, smoking and drinking and having a good time. I do a lot of doom work, and I like doom work, but there's also all sorts of other really extreme types of metal that I enjoy. And in my personal opinion, Crusher, at least on Church Burner, which is the only stuff I've had the pleasure of hearing, is really fucking brutal. That album as a whole is like incredibly brutal, and I absolutely love it. So it's awesome to like get to talk to people who play really hard, heavy, extreme music. The first time that we were made aware of y'all was End of the World Festival in December, I believe it was, and we went into that little studio room.
Decorating for Christmas.
Yeah, was
Santa
it
Claus
Warehouse Live?
Ah.
Yeah, and you guys were like
I was about to
kind
say
of
bullshit.
like corpse painted up, but like sort of, but with like, and you guys were all wearing Santa hats. And I was like, oh, this is gonna get interesting. And then you guys started playing, and on the inside, I was like, oh my god, we've got sludge metal. Like, I didn't know that existed in the city. Like, I
Back
can't
in
think of
Houston.
any other sludge acts off the top of my head. But I'm also not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to local music. I'm getting there though. Like, my list is growing.
You're doing a good job.
So that was our first introduction to y'all, and I absolutely enjoyed the show. And then we saw you guys again at Rudyard's, but for the life of me, I just don't remember.
Yeah.
Destroyer of Light. I think
Destroyer of Light.
Yeah, you guys
play
were
those
playing
guys.
Destroyer of Light.
They
They're one of my
play awesome.
favorites.
I don't know.
They're from Austin. They're those dudes.
They're like
Christian set up the show.
It was awesome. It was a really good show.
Yeah, Destroyer of Light. They're our
I
second
gave
on
the
our
singer
second
some
episode.
mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
that's
Oh,
what
Steve.
I mushrooms at the show. Yeah.
I'll have to ask him about that next time we talk to him. So, why don't you guys go ahead and give me a little history on Crusher and how you guys got together and why y'all do the extremely brutal type of music that you do.
Well,
Jay, you want to talk first? Hold on.
I got a pretty good, like, how I got into it was I got out of rehab and I wasn't sure if I was going to give up on music because I was scared to go to the bars, or if I was going to make music like part of my recovery. And I was like, fuck it. So I started calling people around and I was like, you want to start a band? You want to start a band? You want to start a band? I want to do something heavy. I was trying to do some black metal thing.
Fucking weirdo.
And our buddy Dave Ellington, who used to play in Battle with Jason, was like, call this dude. And so I called Jason up and I went out and we sat in with him and our first drummer.
Yeah.
And within like 15 minutes, like, we were doing some amazing shit.
What was originally happening is Jason and I had played in a band a long time ago, and old hardcore band called Pride Kills. And then
my tattoo artist was like, "Yeah, I think like those guys used to play in a hardcore band."
Who's your tattoo artist?
This guy named Ricky Cogburn is his real name.
That sounds like some NASCAR shit right there. Ricky Cogburn.
I think his tattoo artist name is Ricky Glory. I think I don't really
And
know.
for the win.
If you hear this, Ricky, and I butchered anything, I apologize. Anyway, sorry, go on.
I don't know, man. Even before that, Steven and I, man.
Hold on, goddammit. No, so Jason and I had a falling out. We didn't talk for a long time, like probably like three years almost.
Yeah, something like that.
And then when we started hanging out again, Jason had been wanting to do this church burner shit for a long time, and Jason and Steven had lived together years ago, probably 6 years ago now.
10.
10?
I
mean, even like 10 years ago, Jason had been talking about church burner, Steven had been jamming, they'd like played together just fucking around.
We just wrote a bunch of riffs, man. Like
Yeah,
massive
Jason's got a plethora and a bank of riffs he's written over the years, and he's always had the whole idea of like having a band called Church Burner in his head.
Years.
And I've always wanted to, like, you know, I was so comfortable when Jason and I used to play together back in the day that it was somebody who I've always wanted, like, felt it would be a good fit. Like, we do everything we do for fun, so you want to do it with people you like and your friends. So, anyways, so then Mike, exactly what Mike said about coming
that's
in,
about when I popped in.
About Mike coming in, and Jason was like, Luke, why don't you sing? Because this guy wants to play bass. And Mike is a lot better bass player than I am.
Well,
also.
Dave, I mean, if Dave's cool, man. Dave, me and Dave played together for a long time in Battle, man. We all, me and Dave and Jeff from Battle, we all lived in this loft together for a long time. And we played in Battle and Joel, who I tattoo with over at Mike Packer's. We played in Battle for a long fucking time. That made me a much better guitar player.
Yeah, my buddy Andrew, he introduced me to Bowel in Texas.
Yeah, that shit's heavy. Dave's fucking amazing, man. I give Dave 100% credit for that. That's just, I mean, I say that, but I mean, fucking Jeff put so much into it.
Bobby's been
Bobby
around
wrote
for
so
years,
much
dude.
too, man.
Bobby played in Spunk.
Oh yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ, that is, dude. Fucking what was Incisor?
Yeah.
Remember fucking Incisor?
But me and Dave, man,
unfucking believable, dude.
Me, Dave, Jeff, and fucking Joel would just sit there and just jam. We just fucking did a lot of drugs.
Jeff has been playing for fucking years. He's an
He's
an unbelievable fucking bass player. He's an unbelievable drummer, and he speaks really good fucking what's it called?
I saw him in a Sabbath cover
Oh,
band that
Malaysian,
killed it.
dude.
He has the
Malaysian.
vocals.
He's like Malay.
That does everything.
So they were
I
some
sound
big
very ignorant
influences.
right now.
Everyone's been fucking and sucking for a long time together. And we wanted to start jamming. Found some good dudes that would get together and actually show up on Monday and practice.
Was the first
Sucking.
what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Was the first Crusher, did you guys call yourselves Church Burner for a while? Was that like...
Oh, dude.
We went through... Yeah.
30 fucking names.
Everybody told us, well, we had this name first.
Nah, every name.
And
Our original was Scavenger. All right. Now, what's funny about that is because we're doing a split with Black Ops out of Austin. It's our buddy Morgan from Kill the Client, a couple other dudes.
Mark from Dead Sea, man.
Yeah, it's
Neil's fucking killer, man.
really good guys. We're putting out a split with them. And the funniest thing is that Jason and Morgan years ago had been working on something that they were going to call Scavenger. And then when we all got together, we were going to call it Scavenger. And Morgan was like, man, I already got a band called Scavenger, which he hasn't done shit with, Morgan, you fuck face. Thanks a lot for fucking ruining that for us. Now we got a weird name with nothing but consonants. Yeah. Piece of shit. Jesus, you troll motherfucker.
Well, we had Scavenger, then we were going to do Vulture, some shit, and then we went to Church Burner, and I had my buddy draw us up the logo and the album cover that said Church Burner, and we were damn near ready to send the thing off.
Is that the cover for the Church Burner album?
Yeah,
okay.
And that's why it looks like that, because that was supposed to be our name. And then we find out that some of the guys from Vital Remains just started a new band called like Church Burn or some shit. And it
So how are we gonna fight with that? Dude?
So we're like, dude,
fucking goddamn it!
Goddamn it!
Then we messed around for another month throwing words, and then I was like, fuck it, let's just make up our own word and not put any vowels in it.
Yeah,
and then
it's good
I guess
stuff.
I never knew that.
and it, it's like we're too metal for vowels. Fuck it, like make up
yeah.
our own shit.
When
But
you have
everything
that,
has been taken.
and you guys, the U in Crusher is a V,
Whatever, I
and
guess.
like the
Sure.
weird, like
There's
traditional
no vowels in the lyrics.
No
either.
throw back
Yeah.
to those weird, like second wave black metal bullshit,
whatever, dude.
which
I
is
don't know.
which is
I don't know
funny
what that
because for me it took I made that connection, but it took me a while. I was like, why is that a V? And then I talked to some of you guys later on at the second show I saw you, and I was like, oh, it makes a little bit more sense.
I've never
now.
made any connection with that.
I have no idea.
Maybe that's just a
I just
weird.
think
Maybe
it's
that's just a
fucking-
weird thing that like
I played it. I
You're
played
looking
black
too
metal
far
a
in.
lot.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about, right?
so
Okay.
I kind of stole that from the whole black metal.
Oh, like
genre.
all that cult, the Kavol.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's just a
fucking-
weird. It's just a weird black
You
metal. It's like one of those
guys-
black
not
metal.
You guys can go in the closet and blow each other.
Black metal. You know what, Luke? You don't like black metal?
What?
You've never listened to like Hellhammer or Venom or anything like that?
Nah, man, I definitely like old fucking Venom, and I'll tell you that like
Bathory's good.
and I like that second Bathory album, dude. That was the first fucking real
Throne Man was
real
really good,
fucking
dude.
real that like fucking intro with the fucking horses and
Blood, Fire,
shit.
Death.
Oh yeah, that shit
Blood,
was
Fire,
fire.
Death. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was
That's
fucking.
still on repeat in my car.
I definitely jam that, and
What's
and any as really to be honest, as far as any newer black metal or what people call black metal. The only thing I like is fucking Leviathan.
Dude,
Like
so
that
good.
newest Leviathan, that dude's fucking unbelievable.
1349. Let me tell you, that fucking man fucking shreds.
That band,
They fucking shred.
but really like something that I listen to like
That's
a
like
lot
thrash,
is
though.
like really Leviathan.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've had that
awesome.
Scar-Sided album on repeat too.
yeah, I've been listening to that for a year.
Yo, you haven't listened to that shit?
So I need. So
You're a
apparently
fucking. You don't even know.
Oh,
what
it's not.
I'm
It's
sorry,
just,
guys.
it's really it's really different. It's
Yo,
not.
fuck
It's not straight up like.
It's like a
just
movie
good.
soundtrack from hell.
It's
just
like,
good,
there's
dude.
So much like.
fucking miserable.
I got into like the second wave black metal when I
know
was
that
younger, like Burzum and Dark Throne.
Yeah.
Like that's all.
I like
that's
a
all
lot of
real
Burzum. I like a lot of
really
Burzum
heavy.
shit, man.
That dude second wave
guy.
black metal, and I hate to say this, and I'm sure
That dude killed a guy.
like there's somebody that will
with a knife.
completely disagree with me, but a
Some
lot of
people
second wave
bang
black metal all
that,
sounds the
stab him
goddamn
in
the
the
same.
head.
And after
Ah,
a
it
while,
does.
I
It's
get
just
I get tired of it. But then you start hearing things like Peasant, like Houston Locals Peasant, they throw in those second wave black metal influence as far as tremolo picking goes, but then they push it forward with like a nice little thrash sound.
Yeah, they do good, dude.
Jeff
They
just
do
needs
good.
to wear
They're
more
not.
leather, dude. I mean,
Nah, he needs more spikes on his hands. He needs more leather. He
Jeff
needs
needs
to
more
shave
leather.
his hand
So,
closer to
cleaner.
his skin.
Back to
But dude,
the
no,
history
they do
of Crusher and
kick
how you
ass.
guys got together.
They do kick ass.
We've kind of gone off on our own weird fucking direction,
I
guys.
get off all the
leather.
time.
That's what, but it's going to continue to happen. It doesn't matter what we talk about.
we
We're
talk
gonna
about
end up
leather?
way fucking. We can talk about leather.
Let's talk
The
about
first time I ever saw Iron Maiden in a video was like "Run to the Hills" and like their original video for that, and I was like 12, and I was like, "Look at those guys! Look at how they're
Dude.
dressed!" It was fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
the first two. I was probably 8 years old. The first two tapes I ever bought, and it was in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
You told me
and I
about
bought
this. That
Judas
thing
Priest.
with your dad in it?
I bought Judas Priest Sinner and the Fat Boys tape, and I don't know if it was Fat Boys Are Back, or
Like
the
gay
first
porn,
one.
man. I mean,
No, and I bought Judas Priest Sinner, and that was like the shit, dude. When I was 8 years old, 9 years old, and like I mean, I had no idea. And fucking right on for Rob Halford, dude. He's fucking awesome, dude. That dude.
I had no idea.
That dude made a whole fucking.
no idea.
That dude made a whole fucking wave of fucking metal happen, and he was a leather-clad, fucking
man fucker,
gay dudes. Yeah, it's awesome as shit though, dude. It's like I'm proud that I fucking respected that dude and jammed his music and love his vocals, dude.
That was bad.
It's amazing if you go back in time and you look at the period where Rob Halford finally came out and was like, "Hey man, I'm gay."
Ballsy,
dude. It was way later, dude.
Right, but how
it was after nobody gave a fuck.
The way it was received though, there was oddly enough in some of the stuff you read, there was some kind of hate thrown on that guy for that, which is really weird.
Sucks. People were mad.
Yeah, which is really to me personally, you do whatever you want. Fuck who you are, how you dress, who you fuck.
Now you just know who to not talk to.
Look,
you're right.
Yeah. That's how you know not who to talk to.
I'm not going to be your buddy because you don't like homosexuals because you're an asshole. But it just amazes me because generally, and from what I've seen, and I'm only 30, so I've been in the metal scene, at least locally, for the last 2 years or so. And I've always gone to shows. Metal is real tight-knit. I meet random dude. We went to a Monomarth and I met a guy who barely spoke English. He spoke mostly Spanish. And we were rocking out together and he was like, "You and me, we are metal brothers. I'm from Mexico. You were from Texas."
Yeah,
he's like, "I got you a beer." And I was like, "Dude, we were like,
I got you a beer."
Yeah.
It all boils down to punk rock, dude.
That's
It's all punk
true.
rock,
That's
man. And
true
punk rock
music.
is all
That's true
inclusive.
music community.
Right.
That's true metal
So it's
community.
really weird to see some of this older stuff flaming hate on Rob Halford for coming out gay years ago. And it's I can't even imagine that. I can't even see why anyone would ever think that way.
They were jerking off to those videos, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're like, "Oh,
you know what,
yeah."
man? People have a I guess society gives people a real sense of insecurity naturally, and people like us, the reason why we deal well with it is because we came up a certain way, a little bit skewed, a little bit different, broken families, shit like that, drug addicts and whatnot. Oh yeah. So we already have the insight from being young into how society works. So where other people might be afraid of something like that, we accept the something that might not be the norm. It's real easy. That's our community. That's punk rock community. From since I was 10 years old. That's punk rock community. Whether you call it metal, hardcore, anything, that's punk rock. People there are different. Just people. That's our subculture.
Right.
It's our
punk rock,
subculture.
dude.
So it's easy for us to accept people who are, not what everybody else accepts. That's life. We're all different.
That's why it's hard to come together because it's the antisocial club.
Yeah.
Everyone's antisocial.
And
You go to show with someone for 10 years and never even know their name.
Yeah.
You know who they are.
Right. You know what they look like. You recognize their vest. You know what kind of music they like.
And at the same time, still, the music we play, or a lot of music, especially a lot of music like Jason and I used to play, there was a whole lot of
What was that,
really
hardcore punk? Or
just hardcore.
There was just a lot of
good
opinions and ideas.
There's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of for every reason somebody would judge somebody else. Whether you do drugs, you don't do drugs, you like this, you don't like this. And it got to not be what punk rock was about for me, or like metal's about for me.
That shit got
it was really silly, and it caused a lot of rifts with a lot of people I know. So that really sucks. So I guess getting back to shit, when Jason and I started hanging out again and really wanting to play music again, that was our biggest thing. Was no genre, no attitude, no fucking. Let's just have fun and do what we do. Let's write riffs and fucking jam and
whatever comes out.
Let's have fun.
We were talking about doing negative approach sounding shit originally, like doomy ass fucking negative
shitty
approach.
Hardcore,
old, just fucking screaming 3 minute 1 minute long songs, just shitty fucking.
I mean, look at how I sing.
Which we might do again.
I sing like shitty fucking.
Well, dude, we got to do.
I really like your voice. If you're sitting down and you're listening to Church Burner, which when we did Texas Metal Radio #1, we played Hill People, and I think we played Church Burner. I have to check my notes. I honestly don't remember.
Church Burner and Hill People.
Your voice pushes this
dirty old man.
Desperate fucking. It's so hard to explain.
And we recorded that in one take.
I'll tell you exactly what that is, man.
Guttural.
I'll tell you to the T.
Desperate screams.
I'll tell you exactly to the T what that is. That's fucking Dino from Dystopia. Dystopia's been such a huge influence for me. I love that band so much.
Yeah, me too.
That really, to me, that desperation he did, like both of those guys actually, him and like when I was like really influenced me a lot. So it was real easy. Like I'd never been a vocalist before, you know. I went from like always playing bass or guitar into doing vocals, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So what do I think about like the bands I respect the most, or I like the most, or the vocalists I like the most? So
Do it for integrity.
yeah, like I mean, I can yell.
Human Furnace.
I can yell. Yeah, Furnace, dude. Furnace is fucking unbelievable. Like James is fucking beautiful fucking vocalist.
Old boy from Leviathan.
No, so I mean that was kind of to me that's maybe where you, like I didn't mind my voice like cracking or sounding like shitty because it was like more like heartfelt.
I mean, I think that gives us the dynamic that separates it from other shit, you know, like his vocals, he just sounds like a fucking guy having a bad day.
Oh, like perfect.
Like,
the worst fucking day.
Yeah, like the despair pushed forward in the way he should. Like when he does Hill People, when he just Hill People and he just draws it out, you can like you really feel like Hill People have stolen your family and are murdering you. I don't know if that's exactly what the song's about, but that's what I hear. Like,
that's exactly. That's exactly.
Sorry, Mike.
100%.
And that was probably recorded 6 months after we were jamming together.
Yeah.
And so now we've been jamming 2 years together.
It's so fucking different.
And we got maybe 4 or 5 new songs, and they're all just constantly evolving, getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
We're getting better and better at all of our instruments, playing together, vocals, everything's getting a lot more solid.
Everybody is getting tired. We're fortunate that we've got a new drummer now, and he seems to be a really good fit.
He pushes for practice constantly.
Yeah, he's all about it.
He's been with us a week, dude.
And he already knows
gung-ho shit and knows half the new stuff.
And he knows the majority of the last song
I'm
already.
really excited to hear the new stuff. Normally when we do a show like this, like the music we're going to play, I'm already way familiar with it and I've listened to it over and over again.
We've got some new stuff to show you.
Well, I've said this in like fucking every episode, so I'm not going to say it, but when I work alone.
Yeah.
I listen to music. So
You just said it again.
I know. I can't because I've never really talked to you guys, so you don't know that I work alone in the back of a truck. So like I listen to new music all the time, so I'm really familiar with what we're gonna play. And today we're not, and I'm really excited to hear it because I've only listened to 4 songs on Church Burner, and I fucking love that shit. And you guys are all telling me that the new shit you've done is even better. So like inside of me, the little boy inside of me is like, yeah, I'm really fucking
I
excited.
think we should go for Human Scum.
We have our so we put a bunch of money in together as a band, and our drummer really put a lot of work into this. Our old drummer Adam, he put a lot of work into everything. When we got our own studio, and we recorded 3 songs, one of which is called Human Scum, and it's going to be going on the split with Black Ops. And that song's 14 minutes long. Morgan from Black Ops did some noise and some guest vocals on it. It's 14 minutes. And it's not like 14 minutes one riff. It's like 14 minutes constant changing, time changes, fast, slow, solos, like 3 or 4 solos.
Yeah.
And this is a new
fuck that
human
guy.
Not like that guy.
He still wants to fight me, this little scrawny fat
No, he
guy.
doesn't. Nobody wants to fight you.
No one wants to fight nobody.
What's wrong with you guys?
Is Human Scum a new song?
That's a new song.
Yes,
That's going to be on the Black
see
Ops
what's
split that Jason was talking about.
And the Black Ops split, do we have a time frame when this is going to be released? Do you guys have a release date yet?
We just got the final mix back last week. So and that's a digital master, and we have to approve everything, and he's gonna do a vinyl master for us.
I was gonna get my hands on that.
It'll be good.
I can't wait. I'll take digital. If you guys want to send me some digital, I'm not gonna complain.
It's got a
So
good
I want the fucking
Texas
vinyl.
Jam ending on it.
I do want to interject while we're talking about the recording and stuff like that. Like Greg from Earhammer, Greg Wilkinson, the Evil Wizard, is a good friend of mine, and he's been in the Oakland music scene for years. I moved out there for a while and met him and recorded some stuff with him. He's one of the greatest dudes, and he really is a fucking wizard when it comes to stuff. Our first recording sounded like it was done in a box. It sounded like shit, and he made it awesome enough to put it on vinyl, and he did.
Is this the first
Church Burner?
The Church Burner album.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure that we shout out that
Great
none of
songs.
what we've done ever as far as recordings would be worth crap without his magical fingers touching the board.
Yeah, even our new stuff.
He's
Especially our new stuff, because my
Jesus
vocals sounded
Christ.
like ass, and now they sound really okay.
You sound pretty epic.
He's
Your
amazing.
vocals are good.
because
now we're recording all our stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
We got
got
our
our own
mics
studio.
and we kind of got a makeshift studio, and then we send it to him and get it mixed and mastered, and it comes out pretty good.
I think
all the songs we've gotten back so far are really good.
And people are probably going to hear this and go, duh, John, you're fucking retarded. Because that's what I think. It is probably best to just record all your own shit. Because you can do whatever. There is no limitation. You can do whatever the fuck that you want. But then again, that comes with
whatever you know how to do.
Right. But it comes with I can only imagine it comes with a financial responsibility where if you don't have the money.
That's not really ever been a problem with us.
Yeah.
We work hard and we're not idiots.
There's 5 of us, so we all have jobs.
We don't take care of our shit.
This is our hobby. It's our hobby. We don't make this isn't our living at all. Not for one of us at all. It's our hobby and we love it, and we're willing to put money into it. So if we need to record, and we don't want to deal with anybody else's bullshit either. So it's definitely better if we learn how to do it ourselves. That's one
cheaper in the long run too.
That's one unfortunate thing about losing Adam as a drummer. Besides, our buddy just wanting to do his own thing, is that he was the main person who was doing that. So now we're gonna have to put more effort into that,
which is fine with me.
Which is totally fine. But I don't know what to say. I'm fucking high as fuck.
Hey, that is a good way to be. So I think right now it's going to be a perfect time to take our first song break. I don't think anything we're going to play on this episode is actually on any form that people can get.
Not
yet. So we're going to just call this one song number 1.
Right. There you go.
And Steven, what are we going to play for song number 1?
Let's play You Got Eternal.
Human Scum.
Yeah, no. You Got Eternal.
You do the Hate Eternal one?
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
We're going to play song number 1. So, if you weren't lucky enough to be actually sitting in this living room with us listening to this new Crusher jam, which at the moment has been called Caveman, and that could possibly change, or
I think it might be called Alone after.
Yeah.
So
Looking
we're going
at the lyrics.
Caveman or Alone.
Yeah,
Keep your
like
eyes
that.
out on it. If you
Were
were
you
here
alone,
for it,
caveman?
if you were here,
It's a
you were
lonely
super lucky
caveman.
because it was fucking great. But
It's the lonely caveman.
since you're not here, you didn't get to hear shit. But you should hear it on the show.
The
Sorry.
song's lonely and doomy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It does have a. It did have a very good like alone quality to it. Like I would be in a cave, like kicking out my own teeth with a fucking ice skate.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah,
feel.
you know, or like driving your car on a long trip somewhere. You know, it's good for that too.
Fucking that movie with Tom Hanks. Anyway,
Mermaid.
no, not Mermaid. No, not Mermaid.
The
Castaway.
Daryl Hannah with Daryl Hannah. Splash.
So let's talk about your guys'
Okay.
as I have it written in my phone, and you can't see these air quotes, genre-specific metal influences. What, Mike, what type of metal do you listen to regularly that makes you want to make the type of metal you do with Crusher?
Shock.
I've been listening to a lot of Yob for a long time. We got to open up for them. That was pretty awesome.
We saw them at Housecore, and they were the loudest fucking band
Yeah.
that played the entire Housecore lineup.
They are amazing.
I've been listening to them a lot. I've been jamming the new Sour Bean album.
Why don't you talk
lately.
about where you came from?
We're at. Oh, well.
Yeah, you know, you did have some interesting stuff when we were at the bar.
Talk about your early influences, brother.
Yeah, well, I was in Spokane, Washington, where I came up, and there's a really weird, angry, fucked up little
That's
punk
where my
scene
dad was born.
in there, you know, and we somehow got our hands on a bunch of like I Hate God and stuff like that early on, you know, early 90s when they were, you know, first doing their thing. That, you know, when I first heard about it, and then I was real punk rock, you know, I wasn't really into metal, I was more into punk, and the more punk I got, the more crusty I got, and the more that turned into like the old like British crust, you know, like Doom and Final Warning and all that stuff, and they were just basically like dirty metalheads talking about politics instead of talking about killing shit, you know, and that was kind of, I went from that into metal, you know, like I started, you know, like I said, I started out on old punk rock and just kind of evolved around and came back to the metal. Like I didn't really start listening to Iron Maiden until I was probably like 18 or something, you know, because I was into all the underground crust shit.
I got to see Maiden on Seventh Son tour when I was like 11.
Awesome.
Ace Frehley opened up Frehley's Comments.
My older brother, who I've talked about once or twice on the show, he was the biggest influence for me when it came to like spreading out into metal.
Yeah.
Like my dad introduced us to, I think we had a Paranoid cassette, and he had like Injustice for All, and that was kind of cool. I was young, I'd never heard music.
I
like
remember
that.
buying that album the day it came out. I was 12 years old.
What year was that?
He don't know.
87.
I was 2.
87.
I was just a little kid.
87,
Like I was a fucking
87,
baby.
87 or 88. I was 12 years old. I was probably 87, and it was I don't know if it was a Sam Goody or maybe
Sam
a Warehouse
Goody.
Music in Dallas, and that's when Metallica dropped Injustice for All, and I bought the vinyl, and I had a record player, and I went home, and I remember I had a terrible like migraine headache as a little fucking kid, and I was still jamming that fucking album. That was the last. That was the last fucking good thing those fucks ever did. Because everything else after that sucked fucking dick. I hate that fucking.
This is a common sentiment about Metallica, as I'm sure if you listen to the show, you do know. So Iron Maiden. So you didn't get into Iron Maiden until you were 18.
Yeah.
When I was like 12, 13, we were playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for like the PlayStation 1.
Fuck yeah.
And they had
Fuck yeah.
Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
And even at 12 years old or 13 or whatever, I was around 12, 13 years old, I knew that Iron Maiden were like really, for the lack of a better word, mainstream, quote unquote, as far as heavy metal went, but I had never listened to them.
Right.
So my brother and I were playing Tony Hawk. We played a fuck
How
ton
old
of
were
Tony
you?
Hawk. Oh, I don't know, 11, 12 years old. And
Had you heard any other bands at that time, like Anthrax?
No,
or anything?
metal had been Black Sabbath and up until that point. It was Metallica. That was the heaviest
Had you
band
heard
I'd
any
ever
punk rock
listened to.
shit? Did you
No.
heard like Misfits or anything?
I had
like that?
listened to maybe a little bit of the Dead Kennedys and a little bit of the Misfits.
Right on.
But that all kind of opened up, like, because Metallica did the fucking Misfits covers, and that's what kind of Garage Incorporated. I was in 7th grade. That's what kind of opened that door for me. And so we're listening to Number of the Beast on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and my brother always beat me on that game. He could always get a higher score every fucking time, and it drove me
I got
crazy.
kicked out of somebody's house for beating their
I beat anybody in the game. I'll beat the fuck out of anybody.
Iron Maiden comes on, and I'm like, initially, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because I had never heard of Iron Maiden. I've never heard Iron Maiden, but I had heard of Iron Maiden. I knew they were these huge, heavy metal icons, and I expected, like, fucking heavy ass metal. And if you listen to Iron Maiden, you know, they're definitely not the heaviest band out there. But that was like, I think for me, a defining metal moment was listening to the Iron Maiden song going, holy shit, this is really cool. Because up until then it was Metallica. And I love Metallica because they were one of the first things.
Maiden's unbelievable. Maiden's unbelievable because they have, like, really, I mean, regardless of if you like something heavier or something lighter, Maiden's got solid riffs and they've got unbelievable vocals and they've been a solid band for so many fucking years that you just can't deny.
If you
like, that's like metal fucking kings.
If you listen to the first Maiden album, you can already hear exactly what Maiden's pretty much gonna sound like for the rest of their career. You know, they knew what they wanted to do like right off the bat, which is rare.
What was it? What was it? The fucking guitarist that left. I was about to say the guitarist for.
I don't know.
I was about to say Glenn Tipton.
Silence. Silence is the easiest thing to fucking edit. Let's get back. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So for all of you who are probably not listening to the show, we've had a pretty great day so far. We've been drinking and smoking and just having an excellent time talking about music. But let's talk more. Let's get back on the track of Crusher. Let's talk about more of the music that you guys make. So we were talking to Mike about your influences and how you came up.
Yeah.
And we kind of diverted off into fucking La La Land.
Yeah, well, so I was a shitty train hopping, hitchhiking, crusty kid with a giant drug and alcohol habit.
Crust punk. That's the term that I've heard. Crust punk. That's a newer term for me.
We call them cunt punk.
Yeah.
That's what Luke would be.
So Luke, where did you come from? Why what makes you want to make the type of music that Crusher makes? The brutal, desperate.
I came up with really a lot of metal when I was like about 8, and I saw my sister. My sister was 7 years older than me, and that was when I first moved to Texas from South Dakota. And so she was hanging out with these old metal dudes, and they had like back patches with like Anthrax and Maiden on it. So I was like 8, 9 years old. So I started checking out those bands because I thought those guys looked cool, and they're always thrashing out. And from there, between like 9, 10, 11, I got introduced to punk rock music. And then by 12, my mom remarried a dude who worked for CBS Sony Records. And his kid was this crazy metalhead that was like 3 years older than me. And that's when Earache Records and all that shit first came out. So I got into like the first wave of all that. And that's when I first heard like Bathory a whole bunch and stuff like that. And at the same time got into bands like a whole lot of punk rock and just kind of cruised through that. But my biggest thing, or the thing I'm biggest fan of, is like really nasty, dirty fucking, I don't know, crusty shit. I don't know what else you fucking call it. I love fucking metal. I love everything, but like really bands like Dystopia and Burning Witch, like a lot of slap hand bands, even Spaz, like a lot of power violence bands. I love that shit.
You know, that's power violence for me personally is like a new, up until we started hanging out with the guys, Sarah and CJ from Cursus from San Antonio, I didn't know what power violence, that is a term that I was never introduced to. So for me, that's a relatively new term. I don't know anything about power violence. It was pretty
cool how all that came about, man, because it was real specific to like a few areas like Japan, and San Francisco, Oakland. You know,
Japan, they do the best of everything.
There was like
Italy had
coffins,
good shit.
There was like 2 labels really that brought out all that shit at the beginning.
Whoa.
Slap a Ham, and what's the other one?
Well, I mean, look at even what Jack did in Austin.
Yeah.
Like, with everything like Mind Control Records did, like, bringing that type of shit out. Like, Jack Mind Control is a fucking unbelievable person when it comes to that type of music in Houston. When it comes to that type of music in Texas, like, putting it on the map, like, all those bands.
Yeah. I mean, he had a bunch of shit, too, that was great.
Oh, dude, Butcher is great.
Butcher's his newest thing. World Burns to Death. Severed Head of State.
Yo, Cop on Fire, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's, it's one of those, he's just a regular dude, but if you look back at what he's done for the music scene around, like, Texas and the whole world, like, he's been a major influence on a lot of people.
Dude, like, all bands that, like, we've, like, loved and respected.
What's his full name?
His name's Jack Mind Control.
Yeah. Okay, I have to look him up.
It's Mind Control Records. Yeah, he's
He does a Mammoth.
Based out of Austin?
Yeah, Austin.
Okay.
Mammoth sound mastering is what he's doing a lot now. They master stuff. He's got his own home studio that he's had for a long time. He records and mixes and masters for a bunch of people and does like movie scores and shit like that. He's a great dude.
For those of you listening at home, Jason, he had to split to go off to work, so you won't hear him anymore. Just want to throw that out there in case you're wondering what the fuck happened to the fourth guy in our interview.
So like, bottom line, like, what, like, how I came up through music, whatever, all that. My parents were both really musical. Like, I got to see Prince Purple Rain tour in Minneapolis, Minnesota when I was like 10, 11 years old. Morris
I wish my parents were into that kind of shit.
It was unbelievable. But, like, really, my biggest influences are bands like Dystopia and I Hate God. Like, those are like my biggest, really, even lyrically, just musically.
Pretty much for me, yeah, same thing. Anything out of New Orleans is good for me.
Yeah, like, really, really, a lot of the, like, man, Soylent Green, fucking Crowbar, Jesus Christ. I fucking love Crowbar. I got my ACL and my MCL fucking torn open and a bottle broken over my head at Crowbar show.
I have to say, the one time we went to go see Crowbar, I didn't get to see them because we got viciously sick. We talked about this earlier today. And I'm like, on the inside, when I think about it, I'm like, fuck, because Crowbar and I Hate God and like Soylent Green and all that stuff for me is relatively new. In the last couple of years, I woke up one Sunday and got real stoned. Like, I recently went through, like, quote unquote a divorce, and so like I stayed with my folks for a little while to recoup and save up some money. And I watched this like noisy, like, I don't remember what it's called. It's like noisy production, sounds of the Blues and Beast from the Bayou, and it was all Down and I Hate God and Crowbar and all that kind of stuff.
The YouTube videos they did?
Yeah, and I sat down and I watched the whole thing in one go, and it was like Sunday morning and no one was home, and I was just blazing, and so I'd always listened to Down. Down was one of the first like doom metal bands I listened to before I really knew doom metal was a thing.
Down's like my, I mean, whatever. I like Crowbar a lot. I like Soylent Green. I'm a big Acid Bath fan. Like, everything they did back then.
I really like I personally like their second album better than their first. Is that weird? Acid Bath.
Kite String?
Acid Bath was fucking awesome.
Wasn't Kite String Pops the second album?
Yeah, that's a Kite String
I think
Pops.
so.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Then I'm sorry. I'm totally mistaken.
No, dude, I could be wrong.
Heathen Pagan Terror Tactics.
Oh, maybe that came out after Kite String. You're right.
That's the one that introduced me to Acid Bath.
That shit was great, man.
Yeah, all the shit.
I really, we like all that stuff, man. For me, that's just
So y'all's musical taste, and I'm sorry to interrupt. Y'all's musical taste really, as far as I can tell, is really rooted in that like traditional Southern sound to an extent. Obviously, you guys don't like you like what you like, and you like a broad spectrum. But from what I'm hearing, is like that Southern sound is.
All I listen to is like pretty much like.
Oh, I love that song.
All I listen to is like Taylor Swift and Fucked Up and Black Sabbath and
Taylor Swift and Black Sabbath,
Electric Wizard, and then Bowel and our music.
There you go.
I listen to a lot of shit,
and
like,
I fart a lot.
Well,
in the course of the day, I'll go from like Robert Johnson to like fucking, like some crazy black metal shit like Dissection or something like that, like my ear and my my taste in music. You know, I was for so long I only listened to one genre, and then when I realized that you could have fun listening to all this other stuff, it kind of went crazy, and I think it kind of helped us.
When you finally let ABBA go.
Yeah. When I finally got tired of ABBA.
That Marionette song's pretty fucking
Yeah,
great for
dude.
a pop song.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I fucking hate that.
Whatever, dude.
Wait, what?
Motherfucking Katy Perry.
Mike from Crusher is wearing an ABBA shirt right now.
Yes, yeah.
Don't.
ABBA half shirt. If you guys can see it.
Katy
It's sexy.
Perry and Taylor Swift are the shit, man. I jam that shit constantly. I'm not even fucking joking, dude.
Ghost does a
I
cover
listen
of ABBA's Marionette, and it's really fucking good. So I went back and listened to the original, like I wanted to hear what, and I was really quite surprised at we all, and this will lead into my next question, we all, or maybe I'm wrong, so you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I have like guilty pleasure music that I listen to that I don't really talk about.
I just told you about mine.
Yeah, right. He knows right there.
I just told you
like
about mine.
recently, and I hate to admit this, and I hope we don't lose listeners for this, but if we do, I completely understand. My guilty pleasure music recently is DUEL, which is like a South African like rap group, but they're like. They call themselves Zeph, but it's like white trash. Yeah, dude, and it's like so
what is
fun.
this shit?
You've never listened to DUEL? It's just this weird, trashy South
How do you
African
say that
rap.
again?
I would probably like that.
No,
dude.
you would.
There's a lot of Dutch influence. The Dutch were there in South Africa.
Say it one more time.
DUEL.
I've never, I've
Yeah,
always
but
been
it's
curious.
Antwoord. Like if you were to.
Oh God, I know who you're talking about.
See, that's what I wanted you to say it again.
That shit is terrible. That pitbull fucking weirdo. Jesus Christ, that
That
scared
stuff's
the
awesome.
shit out of me.
We had a
good
bartender
stuff.
in my neighborhood bar in New Orleans that found out about them. He was the first person that turned me onto it, and they had one of those like digital jukeboxes at the bar.
Yeah, where you can kind of listen to
where
whatever
could
you want.
pick,
I
any
love
shit
those.
off the internet.
Yeah.
Well, he played that shit so fucking much that I liked it, and then got sick of it, and then started liking it again. Because the bar was a block away from my house, and this guy worked like almost every morning. So I went up and down to where I heard it so much I could sing along with it, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, why doesn't this shit just stop? But now that I don't go to that bar and hear it all the time, it's fun every now and then, I kind of dig it.
When I was in school, when I was in high school, I went to high school for maybe like 6 months before I was like, fuck off, I'm out, and quit. I have a 9th grade education. That's the highest schooling I've
I have a
graduated.
9.5-year education.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
When I was younger, when I was listening to things like Blind Guardian, Iced Earth, Cannibal Corpse, Cradle of Filth, and Burzum in high school, most of my friends who liked quote-unquote heavy music were listening to like Korn and Slipknot. Those guys were in their heyday, super popular first couple albums. And when I was younger, I was real like heavy metal elite, like this is not real metal, fuck off, that attitude I've tried to push away as I got older because it keeps you from enjoying things.
Well, if they were listening to Korn and Slipknot, you were fully right.
Well, and then of course, Insane Clown Posse, also, they were in their heyday, and I had friends who were juggalos. So I was always the odd man out and having to listen to stuff that I absolutely just didn't like.
Yeah.
So after 5 or 6 years of getting stoned and playing video games, you start to find the Insane Clown Posse songs that you don't absolutely hate, and I always hated that part of myself, but now I just fully embrace it and listen to Jan and I'm like, you know what? I don't fucking care. Because we were just listening to Armageddon, which I'm probably not even pronouncing that right, which is like Norwegian folk metal. I don't know if you've ever listened to Armageddon. They have like 2 albums, and it's just this like accordion-filled horror fest in Norwegian, and I have no fucking idea what they're saying.
Fuck no.
Now I want to listen to some really shitty rap music from
I
South
got a
Africa.
funny Insane Clown Posse story.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
I was
This
dating.
is not cool.
I was dating a Canadian girl
I'm sorry, Luke.
that I met in Florida, and we lived in New Orleans, and she loved ICP, but she was like, traveling girl, lots of tattoos, but it was like her guilty pleasure, right? And
You may not tell everyone about it, but sometimes you listen to that shit.
So they came and played the House Blues in New Orleans, and she forced me to go. I was like, fuck this.
Ooh, that's rough.
But I went because
Wait, you can't really
she was my girlfriend, and then so we went, and this little kid tapped me on the shoulder. Nobody there was over the age of like 14, and this little kid tapped me on the shoulder, and he started pointing up. So I grabbed him and I picked him up and I threw him in the air.
Daddy,
fucking loved it. And all of a sudden, little kids were lining up to have me throw them into the pit. and I'm fucking getting sprayed down with Faygo and shit like that, and the music was horrible. It was not fun at all as
Luke
far as listening.
Has turned something on his iPhone now.
But the child tossing was actually kind of fun, you know, like all these kids.
And you're not a small
like,
dude.
Yeah,
If you're listening to this podcast, Mike is
Why
not
are
a
you
small
talking about
guy.
tossing children?
because
The statute of limitations
Hold
has
on.
passed. It's okay.
What's your biggest non-metal influence? Like, if you're not going to listen to metal, what kind of music? What are you going to be listening to?
I like a lot of Americana and old country shit, and
Old country is the best.
And I like a lot of hip hop shit.
My favorite old country act.
And then I'll tell you who. Hold on, boy, I'm talking.
I'm sorry, I just interrupted Luke. I apologize to everyone.
He's the interruptor. You're not allowed to interrupt him.
The interruptor.
He interrupts you. That's just the way it goes.
I listen to a lot of Trash Talk and Antoine and goddamn Bowel and
Well, we just went and saw Sturgill Simpson.
oh, Sturgill Simpson, yes,
That
Sturgill
guy was
Simpson
pretty
was
fucking
great.
good.
Sturgill Simpson was excellent.
What does Sturgill Simpson do?
Sturgill Simpson is a new country guy that sounds like an old country guy.
Okay.
He's not that,
But
new.
he's got kind of a
He's
twist of
branching
like
out,
psychedelic in there.
And now he's doing this stuff that almost sounds like Blues Brothers, kind of
Yeah,
crazy, jazzy. It's good, man. It's,
I don't
it's
like it.
interesting. It's very interesting.
You're not a fan?
No.
Steven's a fucking hater.
Why are you such a hater, Steven? Was that bred into you as a child, or?
No, I just don't like Sturgill Simpson.
You know?
Do you know?
Yeah. No, there's a guy called Wheeler Walker Jr. that's coming in
Oh my god! I'm
June.
about to choke his ass.
He's
up.
pretty good.
So what? So when you're not listening to metal, Steven, this is Steven. When you're not listening to metal, what kind of music do you listen to when you need a break from all that heavy shit?
Hardcore, punk rock, and like 80s music.
Be more specific, man. We're trying to have a
Oh, like
conversation.
Blood for Blood or Integrity or something.
That's not heavy
Like,
music. That's not heavy music. at all.
Dramarama or I Got
Dramarama.
Weed Eater.
Dramarama. I
You
hate
can't
God.
talk about I Hate God, Come On, Weed Eater. Like,
You
we're talking
know?
about not heavy metal.
He said Dramarama in the middle of Integrity and fucking Blood for Blood.
Oh my god.
So all three of you. So remaining now we have Mike, Luke, and Steven.
Dramarama.
What was your
I like
first?
that one song by
what was your first
I
gig
got one
like?
song that's real good.
Oh, our first.
Do you
gig
remember
was
your
at-
first gig?
Wasn't
Yeah.
that Big Star?
Yeah, we played the Big Star Bar.
It was
around 19th.
pretty awesome.
And it was just us.
It was fun.
It was
Yeah.
just y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our friends, like, man, like, I don't know, like, a dozen, 15 of our friends or something.
They were really fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was really fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
And,
we were always, that's our whole thing.
A lot of people that came that were friends of ours that like we've been talking shit about how awesome we thought we were doing, and they were like, "Man, that was pretty good." And we're like, "All right, that's great." That's all.
It's
'Cause,
all true.
Even if it sucked, I don't think we would have stopped
We're
because
tight.
we're having fun, you know.
When I saw you guys at Rudyard's with Destroyer of Light, I went up. I don't remember because I had bought your vinyl. End of the World. You know what? We fucking seen Crusher 3 times, but the third time we didn't stay for their set because you had to go to work.
Well,
Remember,
then
we
you
went to
didn't
the
see us
White
3 times.
Right, we went to the White Swan. I'm sorry, I was like triggering back to the beginning of the interview. Now I apologize to the audience. And I was talking to your drummer, the old Adam.
Adam, yeah.
And he was like, dude, we just do this for fun. He was like, give me $7 and a t-shirt will be yours.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been a central theme for you guys.
Yeah,
Do
we
this
give away a
fucking
lot of
music
stuff.
for fun. And you really hear it when you go see them live or if you listen to their album.
We just
I think it adds a quality to the music that you don't get with other people.
Yeah, we do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
We just want, hopefully somebody will enjoy it. I mean, if not, we're going to be happy doing it for ourselves.
You have at least one dude that likes your music.
That's
Just
awesome.
one fucking guy.
One dude, one chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
that's
right.
better.
My chick.
There we go.
Craziest thing that has ever happened to you guys at a show. You guys have a crazy ass show story?
Oh man.
Luke didn't show up once when we played without him.
Oh, that's probably the best. Yeah, that as far as this band. Yeah.
So how did that gig go? Sorry.
I woke up at 8:30, and man, this is what's funny is I've been working nights, and
The guy who wasn't at the show is gonna tell the story.
Oh, hold on. I'll tell my side of it.
This
And
is
then
Luke's side. He didn't show up to this
Mikey
gig.
can tell his side because we actually talked on the phone. I was working nights, like 7-12 every day, and I went to sleep in the morning, and I was actually not partying or drinking or anything, and I was like, man, okay, cool, I don't need to set my alarm. We can get good sleep. And I crashed out at maybe like 9 in the morning, and I woke up at 8:30, and I was like, holy fucking shit, oh my God. Because like usually I'd wake up at like 4 in the afternoon, and I text Mike, I think, I was like, shit.
When I work nights, it's about 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, like usually that's when I'd wake up. I slept through, man, and I hit up Mike, and I called him. I remember he hit me back. He's like, "Dude, we just got off stage," and I was like, "Fuck, sorry guys."
So
that's not really a crazy story.
It's not, but I can only imagine being a band and your singer sleeping through your set is probably a little crazy.
Well, we were kind of like, fuck it. I mean, we all know basically what he's doing, and at that point, Jason and I and Luke were all doing vocals. So me and Jason just kind of, without really discussing who was gonna do what, just kind of took over doing Luke's parts, and it's good. You know, like we played downstairs at Fitzgerald's, and
The best show they ever did.
So what
yeah,
you're
a lot of
saying
people,
is
a lot of
you
people
We sold
know
more
that.
records on that
You
show.
can just get rid of
They had-
Luke and Crusher
They
can
had
continue
15,000
forward.
fans after that.
What show was this?
I don't remember
It's
who we were-
Fitzgerald's
It was,
upstairs with
Opening for Coliseum.
Coliseum.
downstairs.
Coliseum, yeah.
Which, man, that...
And there was another really good band in between us.
I
I
should
can't
probably
remember
say
their name.
anything.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because my wife was like, "Man, you guys sounded better." I was like, "Oh."
Thanks, guys.
So
Luke has not missed a show since.
how long ago was that?
That was a
Since all
while.
the criticism? No, a year and a half ago? No, he hasn't missed a show. I mean, he's
Yeah,
early
that
now.
was-
He helps us load gear, everything. He's a good man.
That was pretty
I
early
don't care what
on.
everyone says about him. He's a good man.
I'd say probably a year and a half ago.
And you
Love
guys
it.
have been
Love it.
an entity for what, like 2 years?
Yeah,
a little over 2
yeah.
years.
Yeah, just starting to get together. Getting all our new songs are
A new drummer.
really the best culmination of our stuff.
And you
Really
guys,
good.
we may or may not have talked about this already.
Culminate all over him.
I could be wrong. You guys do have a new split coming up with Black Ops.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you have a release date for that? Is there a time people can go, okay, hey man, this August I can get this record?
Yes, like
They give you one, you just get disappointed.
March of 2023, people can definitely expect that to happen.
So we have quite a few years. We have
They can
17 years.
expect it to be put out by then,
Well-
without a doubt.
Okay.
We got ours ready to go.
Here's
We
the
gotta
thing with that.
Oh, that sounds fucked
And-
up.
No, they probably got theirs too. We just haven't talked to
ready to
them.
go.
Here's the thing with that. You guys stop me if you're wrong, but
See,
they, Morgan from Black Ops was in Kill the Client, and I think he's already got labels shopping them. So, but we're pretty much unknown. So, as soon as
we're seeing what can happen.
we're gonna do the split with them. We don't know
If
who's
we
putting it out or what, but I have a feeling they're getting a lot more pressure to hurry the fuck up than we are.
If we can't figure something out, probably in the next 2 months, we'll probably just throw it out.
On
So
our own.
by the end of 2016,
Oh,
people-
yeah, most definitely.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely.
So far we haven't been able release dates for everyone have always
probably
kind of
like-
been up in the
we've
air.
also-
At least
got-
one person will die by the time this record comes out.
But if we follow you on social media,
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, that kind of stuff, you'll be able to keep track of what's going on and see that kind of thing.
We've actually also got another couple songs mixed and mastered that we're thinking about putting out with like 4 previously unreleased. At least they haven't been released on any type of media besides online from Bowel that they did, and we got the blessing from Jeff and Joel so far. We're gonna talk to Dave and see what he says, and maybe we'll put that out on a tape or something silly like that with a couple of our songs that we've got mixed and mastered before we can put them on vinyl. We really like to put stuff on vinyl. I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, for
Vinyl's the way
me
to
personally, for a fan, and I did this at your show at End of the World Festival, you had a vinyl, so I bought it.
Nice.
Now, I'm not saying
Thank you.
I'm either going to buy vinyl or digital. I'm not going to buy a CD because the CD is going to sit in a drawer and I'm never going to use it because I'm a big digital music guy. People have made fun of me for that. But you know what? I can carry like 5,000 hours worth of music on this phone, and that's what I want to listen. That's how I listen to my
that's
music.
where most of my music is.
And if you name like a cool band, we'll give it probably to you half price.
Yeah,
Well, I gotta come up with a cool band.
I got that album for $12.
no,
Name a band that we like.
Dude, I have a ton of like badass fucking vinyl, but like really, I mean, I don't listen listen. I don't have a working record player right now.
Well, you can get one for $100, brand new.
I've got a badass TA too in there. I just need to get set up.
Need some repairs or.
I need to set up. I need to get good speakers, and it fucking every time it gets on the inside of an album, it fucking goes. So I stopped fucking playing my albums on it because it pisses me off.
Yeah, you got a pretty good record collection.
I do. I got badass records. I got unbelievable fucking records.
What else you got for us?
Well, I got a whole. You know what?
Come on, let's go.
We got a whole list of shit right here.
Come on.
So let's see. What's your ultimate goal for Crusher? Where do you in 5 years as a band? Where do you guys want to be?
Exactly
I want to have
now.
5 wives,
but with more stuff,
and like 10 guys in my band, and I want to be a jam band, and I want to definitely have bongos.
Are you gonna play the bongos, or is that gonna be like someone else?
Nah, somebody else.
He's got the skin flute.
No, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna nap. I'm gonna nap. Yeah, exactly what Steven said. Doing the exact same thing we are now. Just hanging out with each other and having a good time. Doing fucking interviews with badass people like you guys. That's fun.
It'd be cool if we got a label to pick us up and pay for us to do this, so we not put our own money into it. But like, you know,
so that's a direction you got. Like you'd be willing to take that direction if it came up.
Yeah, only if it was cool.
Yeah, you know, like if they told us we had to go on tour for fucking 7 months out of the year, I don't think I'd do it. Mm-hmm. But if somebody was just willing to help us put out our albums, then definitely.
So let's take this moment to do a little bit of a plug. Mike, you are a head chef at the Durham House. That's correct.
Yeah.
So you have your outside job. So your outside job, your what I call like real life job that makes you a living.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to abandon that to go out on tour. Is that what you're saying with like not wanting to go out on tour for 7 months? I may not be wording that.
I mean,
his job's not necessarily a job. That's what he really likes doing too.
If it was going to pay
well, yeah, like you're from what we've talked about personally and the little time we've sat and talked, like that is like one of your passions. Obviously, it's not your own passion.
Like cooking and music and riding motorcycles are about the only 3 things that I like to do anymore. And if I got paid more to do one than the other, then fuck it. But
right on.
I don't.
You're a good chef.
Yeah, I'm good at what I do. I like what I do. I've worked 25 years to get to where I'm at, and it take a whole lot of money from a record company to get me to walk away from like my career that I've been working on. And like Jason's got a family, Steven's married, like I'm married. Like all of us work a lot and spend a lot of time with the people we care about. And
well, it feels like
we always go out of town to do a show though. That's a lot of fun.
You guys are really tight knit. I mean, the audience doesn't get to feel it as much as I do because I'm actually physically sitting here and I've spent the last 3 or 4 hours with y'all. Like you guys are one really tight knit group of people to make music together. And I think, and I could just be a little crazy, maybe I'm a little stoned, maybe I'm a little drunk, I don't know. But you can hear that when you listen to the music. I personally feel, at least in this exact instant in time, you can hear that in the music, and I think that's a part of what makes y'all's music so fucking good. Because if y'all hated each other, we'd all be like, "Fuck Crusher, dude, these guys fucking suck."
Our biggest thing is that like we're going to love each other and get along and like just jam the fuck out. Like if any one of us had any attitude for 1 fucking second,
it wouldn't work.
We call each other on it.
Real fucking quick, real quick.
I think most all of us have been in bands where people hated each other within the band, and that was like more before we started talking about what kind of music we wanted to play. We all talked about everybody checking their fucking snooty bullshit at the door. Like because we wanted to do it out of our own personal enjoyment, not to like be on a fucking poster somewhere, like be the cool guys in the scene. We just wanted to
play music with each other, play some fucking good shit, and be happy.
Yeah. And if people aren't happy,
that's the basis. That's the
not
basis.
Worth doing it.
That's the basis of a good fucking band too. I mean, absolutely. Oh, I mean, I usually if people ever ask me about my band, like that are not into any type of aggressive music or heavy music, I'm like, I play in a band that you won't like because most people are not gonna like my fucking.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah,
they're not gonna get
the
it.
average schmo on the
anything.
street's gonna hear Crusher and go, God, what is that noise?
Yeah.
Well, but
That's anything.
there's also like, I mean, really, like, we don't have necessarily a fit for anything we play. Like we don't.
Yeah, we just come up with riffs and whatever comes into
Like,
is what it is.
and
So,
I'm totally cool with that. Like I enjoy playing with all sorts of different bands, but you know, unless we were playing with like it's a very specific type of shit that not a people are really that much into.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think that we fit any certain sub-genre, like, to a T, you know, like, there's some, like, a fucking D-beat band is a D-beat band, you
I don't
know?
even fucking know what that means.
It's some punk stuff.
Okay.
And,
throwing it out there, I'm not as
you know,
knowledgeable as
like
everyone
a
else.
thrash band.
They put nails
is
in
a-
their penises.
Ooh.
A thrash band is a thrash band.
That's not
you
true.
know, like,
That's not true.
yeah, it is.
Put nails in their penises.
Well, that probably is true. Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but you know, like,
Oh wow.
like we got, like, we have one song on the Church Burner album that's got a whole bunch of like country riffs in it and shit like that, you know, and it still sounds heavy as fuck. But
Which one is that?
the
Yeah, which one is
Highlander,
I was gonna add, we're getting close to wrapping up, and I was going to ask you about Highlander. And since you bring it up, I feel like this is a perfect time. Who is the person in Crusher that was like, look, guys, we're gonna make this heavy ass song, but we're gonna make it about the fucking Highlander?
that was
Luke.
Yeah,
That I grew up. I'm not the biggest Highlander. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna claim to be the biggest fucking Highlander fan, but I can remember watching the fucking Highlander on TV when I was a kid, and that was
I fucking love everything Highlander. Actually, it's really weird. It's not really weird, but what it is
it was a little weird. When
that song initially, that was the first song like
That
me
we
and
finished
Jason really
together.
wrote. Yeah, and I started out, and it was really kind of self-deprecating and kind of weird, which I kept a lot of that in it, and it fit. But when we were jamming, like live, like practicing, like when we were just practicing, that fucking like that chorus, like that came in, and I was like, "There can be only one Highlander." It just fit.
The way you belt that, like you just repeat that over and over and over
Dude,
again, and
so-
it gets me every time.
So from then, like once I was like, "This just fits. It sounds too good to me, man."
Yeah, you
and
came
that's
to
how
us.
like I really wrote the rest of it like to kind of fit in with like Highlander and like the ending, the really big build up in the ending, and like there can be only one and all that. That's totally.
he came to us. He goes, I think he said, "Don't fucking laugh at me, but check this out." And then he started singing that "There Can Be Only One" part, and we're like, "Fuck it, man, that sounds good. Let's go."
That's how I just when I have some other Highlander fans in my life. I'm a real big nerd, and we've talked about this on other shows. I'm a huge nerd. Like last night, we were playing Pathfinder, which is like a Dungeons and Dragons spin-off. It's like the same game, but called something different.
Y'all
last
wear
night,
costumes and fuck.
Well, we wear costumes and fuck, but not
awesome,
during Dungeons
dude.
and Dragons.
That's awesome.
So I had showed some other friends of mine. I was like, you have to hear this song about Highlanders. Like when this dude screams, "There can be only one" over and over again. It's the best fucking thing. And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Not metalhead. You know, like they don't.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really like metal, so they don't fucking get it.
They're
They
like,
didn't like Highlander. So if you like Highlander, check out the Crusher song Highlander. If you don't like metal, you might not like it, but if you don't like it, you fucking suck.
If you don't like metal, you definitely will not like it.
Yeah, if you're listening to this show and you don't like metal, you're in the wrong fucking place.
There you go.
I really want to thank you guys for being on the show. This has been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground, and we've got a lot of fucking time. And I can't wait to hear the end product. So thanks for sitting down and taking the time to talk to us. And thanks for the beer.
Dude, we didn't even talk about religion or politics.
No, we do not talk about religion or politics
Dude,
on the
yeah,
Texas
don't
Metal
do that,
Show.
dude.
Luke's fired.
Satan.
He'll never be on this show again.
I'm totally joking, dude.
It's alright if he's fired. We can do it without him. We proved it before.
Oh, yeah, totally. I wanted to send out a big thank you to the guys from Crusher for having us over. We had an excellent time. If you have any questions, comments, hate mail, or you'd like to see your band featured on the show, please send us an email at texasmetalshow@gmail.com. Fail me not, my master, for this is your creation, your son the bastard, Leviathan. and always hail John Schaefer.
Thanks for tuning into this crazy episode with Crusher. If you enjoyed their music, you can purchase more at crusher.bandcamp.com. That's Crusher spelled KRVSHR, no vowels. Stay tuned.